The concept of global warming. The notion of global warming implies a complex environmental procedure, which evolves as a natural consequence of the harmful greenhouse gas emissions. The activity is inflicted by human activities. Specifically, the gases are produced by the machinery and electricity processes. According to the Assessment of Environmental Problems in America, burning gases and fuels accounts for 30% of power production in the country. The extensive use of automobiles, trucks, and the other machinery, which comes from diesel and gasoline, accounts for 27% of emissions. Moreover, such factors as heavy industry reactions, residential, commercial, and land employment emissions ensure 40% of greenhouse gas utilization. The environmental impacts of global warming. The problem of greenhouse emissions predetermined the tendencies of climate change. Mainly, the troubling tendency ensures rapid enhancements of temperatures. According to the scientists, the average temperature increased by 1% during the years 1996 to 2005. Due to the growth of the technology, the amounts of fuel emissions and industry resources get up annually, which accelerates the rates of temperature increase. The crisis of climate alteration inflicts a number of subsidiary nature catastrophes. Specifically, it ensures droughts, violent storms, and high heat waves. One of the most threatening dangers, which is introduced by global warming, refers to glaciers melting. According to temperature growth, which is quite perceptible in the Arctic, serves as a precondition of basement water enlargement. Moreover, it is acknowledged that the northern regions, which are characterized by broad ice congregations, possess their peculiar flora and fauna resources. The unique species disappear in the aftermath of global warming, which devastates the diversity of natural storages. The differences in meteorological conditions in separate areas can be perceived through the observations of sea level. For example, it was proved that the impact of global warming on South Pacific Ocean and North Atlantic Ocean is considerably contrasting. It is ensured by the fact that an increase in water level in the latter is accomplished through glaciostasy, and the growth of water in the former stems from man-made activities as well as the emergence of land. The effects of global warming on health. The quality of human health is often hindered by global warming growth. Since the human organism is accustomed to stable environmental conditions, any alterations in the weather, which reach beyond the normal extents, can inflict some grave consequences for humanity. First of all, extreme heat, which lasts for a long time, causes extensive perspiration. The experts claim that hyperhidrosis is connected with some serious health complications such as endocrine, cancer, and dysreflexia. The rise of average temperatures creates a harmful environment, which is susceptible to allergen spreading. Mainly, high temperatures stimulate the growth of many exotic plants, which produce an allergenic influence on some individuals. Disease spread is connected with the crisis of global warming through the water temperature change. The problem hinders the quality of food as well as contributes to the appearance of multiple bacteria, which can result in sudden outbreaks of cholera. Global warming and social justice. The leading governments of the world, which are concerned with the issue of global warming, think about the problem in the context of social distribution. The tendency especially refers to such wealthy countries as the USA and Germany. Thus, the experts claim that the crisis of temperature increase applies to the global citizens of the whole world. Therefore, it might be useful to start solving the crisis through the application of joint recovery programs. It is claimed that some countries do not have the financial resources so that to launch the projections of greenhouse gas emissions elimination. Nevertheless, it does not mean that the citizens of these states have to be abandoned and vulnerable to warming effects. Consequently, the politicians suggest that the successful economies could direct some costs to the poorer countries so that they were used for environmental improvements. After all, the follow-ups of the individual greenhouse gas treatments inflict the consequences on the other states. The strategy is known under the name of Social Justice Program and was first offered by the ecologists from the USA. Despite the general efficiency of the project, its implementation faces some considerate limitations. Mainly, some experts doubt the actual expenditures of transferred allocations. They claimed that such poor countries as, for instance, India or Egypt fight some other top priority problems that have much more severe implications than global warming. These are, for example, AIDS, HIV, and cancer treatment. Therefore, it would seem appropriate for the governments of the poor countries to find some optimal application of allocated costs rather than haunt the ecological problem that seems quite minor for them. Moreover, it is suggested that separate countries do not have any interest in the program, for the effects of global warming might bring some actual benefits to their agriculture, which primarily concerns Russian Federation. Therefore, it is still a significant challenge for the global authorities to develop an all-fit initiative, which might neutralize the threats of temperature increase. Global warming prevention. The strategies of fighting the temperature increase have been long developed by the scientists from all over the world. The eradication of the crisis is connected with the decrease of energy in fossil fuels burning since they inflict the allocations of harmful carbon dioxide. One differentiates several lines of both personal and global behavior, which constitute a fundament of preventive projections. First, it is recommended to switch to the usage of renewable energy such as the wind and solar power. Moreover, buying carbon offsets accounts for providing a consistent recompense for the fossil fuels disruption. Second, one needs to call the global initiative so that to address the issue on the level of individual governments. Specifically, it may be beneficial for the society groups to direct the petitions to the officials with the aim of encouraging them to implement the policies of carbon dioxide cap. Third, the careful treatment of carbon dioxide control refers to the issue of smart driving. Thus, it is acknowledged that if the drivers keep their tires inflated and switch to purchasing high automobiles, the harmful consequences of greenhouse gas production may fall down. Fourth, the monitoring of carbon dioxide allocation is conducted through the sustainability of one's housing conditions. Mainly, the employment of facilities, which demonstrate energy efficiency, as well as changing the harmful light bulbs for neutral fluorescent sources of lights, may refer to the prerequisites of environmental effectiveness. Finally, a human factor plays a critical role in the process of global warming reduction. Thus, if people would take an orientation on giving preference to walking over driving, the harmfulness of gas allocation might be reduced. Study Corgi can help you make your studies smarter. Visit studycorgi.com for more samples like this, study tips, and writing tools.